What up, YouTubers? Today we're going to talk about TD Ameritrade. TD Ameritrade, whenever you do scalp selling, swing selling, long-term, short-term, whatever. Once you sell some shares, you have T+2, T+3, but you have to go in and usually you have to assign sell by specific purchase orders. So I bought XYZ for $5. I sold for $6. Well, you got to line those up. That way they're nice together. By default, everything's first in, first out. So sometimes it doesn't, you sell something, you meant to sell it for this amount, and then default, it makes it into a wash sell. So every day I recommend, and they also recommend that you go through and check it. You have T+2, T+3, so you have usually 2 or 3 days to go through these and settle these tax lots for each one of these that you sold. I usually do mine the night, usually 11 p.m. Eastern time, 12 o'clock, or the next day I usually assign all these. So let's jump in here real quick. They always do default is first in, first out. They also have other settings that you can change. First in, last out, you got lowest cost, lost harvester, stuff like that. That's stuff you have to talk to your tax guy to see what's best. How I do mine is I just go through and I line them up so that way I make my gains because I'm in it for the gains. Then this is not tax advice. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just telling you what I have to do as I learned the hard way through not doing it and getting wash sales. Wash sales you don't want to get. It's good for tax purposes, but if you're trying to do this for gains, then the name of the game is the most gains you can make a day on your scalp trades, or swing trades, any type of trades. Well, let's jump into this. I'm going to show you right here. I just got the TD Ameritrade login page thing, so I'm going to log in right now, and then we're going to go through this. Basically, this is what I do every time I do a trade. The following day, this is what I have to do to assign the tax lots or the specific sold items. Let's log in here real quick. Once I log into here, I'm on the TD Ameritrade positions page. I have mine set up the positions page by default, so it automatically jumps in. So this is the following day after I made my sell. I sold so many yesterday, so now I want to go in the next day and check it. So usually on the page right here, you have your asset types, your positions, and then over here you have your balances, order status, transaction history, and cost basis. So right here at cost basis, this is where you click on. You go to cost basis. Once you pull that up, you got your realized gains, your unrealized gains, and your unsettled. So realized gains is what you made in the year off what you sold. Unrealized gains is something that's a good tool to look at. So if you are holding positions, you can look into that and see what positions you bought at. So if I kept buying every few weeks, stock A, stock B, I can look at stock A and see how many times I bought it and for the price. So that way it's easier to line up your tax lots. I bought 20 at $5. Okay, well, I'm going to sell this 20 for my $5.25 or whatever number you decide to sell at. But that unrealized gain loss page is a good page to use so you know what your current holdings are and at the price you bought them for. Once you go into here, the third tab over is your unsettled closed positions. This is what you have to go into every day after you make your sells. So here it just shows everything I sold. These are just a few of them I sold. Wasn't too busy that day, but I made a couple dollars. By default over here, the tax lot ID method is FIFO. That's first in, first out. That's set by default. You can also go into your profile and you can change if you different default. If you want lost harvester, first in, first out, last in, last out, but that's something you have to look into for your own tax advantages or disadvantages that you're looking for. That's why I go through every day and I check what I sold. I don't let it go into the default. I actually go through here and I set up my specific, assign my specific purchases with the ID. So you right click over here on the green tab, and it says position transaction history and assign to specific purchase. So you want to go to assign to a specific purchase tab, and then it pulls up how many you bought for the price. So you want to make sure the price and the quantity is the same. So you usually go down here and then first in, first out, last one first out, low cost, high cost, last harvester, buy ID. So you want to go down here to buy ID, click that. So right here it shows that I sold a few of them, which is alright, easy to set up. But when you do like 200 of these a day, then it turns into a big task that you're going to work on for about an hour to set it up to go through each one of those. I'm sure you can let it go to default and just let it do its thing, but more than likely you're going to get a wash sell or something's going to happen because the default, it never lines up correctly. So this one, it shows I had this stock ears at 200 shares that I sold for $5.889999. So I'm going to just say I sold it for $4.89. So I go here, usually it's pretty good. It keeps them on top, but sometimes it throws them around. So you want to make sure that, okay, 200 quantity, 484. So I made a nickel, 200 nickels. So we just line that up and we put our 200. Oh, 299 at present. Put 200 in. Once you hit the target, 200, then it's green. So you want to double check it. Looks good, submit. Awesome. And then you go back to your cost basis over here and you keep doing that over and over. See, this is the one I just did. So now it's by ID. Now you want to go down one more. Assign specific purchase, first in, first out, because that's default. So now you go to ID. Now check this one, 225. We'll just say for 4.88998. So we'll just say 4.89. So 225, good. It's the easy one. Next one in line. It's usually not in line like this because I only did a few sells here. When you do 50, 100, 200 round trips in a day, then it gets kind of difficult. Okay, and then you just keep repeating this until it says ID, by ID, by ID. You don't want no first in, first out. No more of these. So then you go, keep on doing this. Go through real quickly. 225, nice in line because I just did a few of them, so it goes pretty quickly. Once you do this every night, it gets easier and easier to figure out. But this is a must do so you don't have any wash sells. 265, so that's pretty simple. It's right in line. I wish it was always this easy. And it took me, the reason I'm making this video, because I've had several wash sells because I thought the default first in, first one out was the best settings. And I'm sure there's an easier way, but I haven't found the easier way yet, except going through these every day and just lining up the specific cells. 267. And then you go back to your cost basis here. First in, first out. Assign specific purchase. By ID. 267. So that looks like the last one I've done. And then this will just show you your total history in the year of how many times you bought that. So now all these tax ID methods, this is by ID, ID. I've done other ones earlier. So great, those are all lined up. So there you are, you're done. So if I trade today, the ones I've done today, then I have to go on the next day and do the same thing. So it's going to stay by ID, by ID. You want everything to be aligned by ID. And trust me, I've done this where I've done 200 round trips a day, and then I had pages of this to do. So it's easier just to do every day so you know what to do. If you wait 2 or 3 days and you do a lot of trades, scalp trading, then you're going to get in trouble and have a lot of work to do, hours. So like I like to look at this once I get all these tax IDs, I like to go in here and just realize gains and losses. And then I like to see the day. I put it, usually it starts at January 1st, but I like to set it up for the day that I just finished. You know, so then I can see, all right, my adjusted gains, I made $120 yesterday in scalp trading nickels. That's a lot of nickels. Chasing pennies, chasing whatever. It doesn't have to make sense. Well, it is making sense, but we're trying to turn them cents into dollars. So $120 for less than an hour of scalping, if that, is pretty good. If I had more money, then I could have made more, but that's all I had to work with that day. But then when everything's all settled out, you just do this every day, and then you just continue on every day, every day, every day. All right? So I hope that video helps. Every time I log out, and that's all you do with TD Ameritrade. There's a lot to learn about TD Ameritrade. There's a lot to read about. And it's just stuff like that is simple. I wish I figured it out or watched a video like this, someone simplifying it for me, because I had to lose wash sales and lost a little bit of money. So I hope this video helps you so you can align your specific sells so you don't lose no money in a bad wash sell. If you're trying to lose money, that's good. Maybe you can get a write-off. But on here, I'm trying to gain money. All right, and I hope this was helpful. Please subscribe, notify, and I'll keep making videos and I'll get better and better with these basic instructions. I'm not a financial advisor. This is entertainment, and I'm just showing you what I do to try to get the maximum gains on my scalp trading. I do a lot of scalping, a lot of swing trading, long term, whatever. I'll just trying to turn 15 cents into $1. All right? Have a great day, YouTube.